Hello and welcome to Unka Bean's Games Lab. Today we're dealing with the Universim. This is episode number 6, and now we're going to be starting to get into the upgrades. First off, last episode, what we had been doing was building the eatery, which I have already assigned a nugget to. We built the farm, and we also built the bunkers. Now as you can see, each bunker holds 20 nuggets. So you want 2 or 3 of them just to make sure they're safe. I currently have 8 water in here, so if nuggets get stranded, 8 of them can be covered before it needs to be refilled. The food will be brought in there by nuggets shortly. It takes them a little while to refill things. So now what we're going to start working on, since we have the opportunity, we don't want you, we want the farm. This handy little upgrade button has become available. Now, for the description, it says, just when you thought you had seen everything that a farm has to offer, an incremental upgrade appealed. Nuggets have grown increasingly more knowledgeable of the land and how to work it. This is the land and how to work it. This has translated into better farming techniques, improved plot layouts, and new tools to assist them in tending the crops. So now, as you can see, it costs 5 lumber and 5 brick. Now we're into lumber and brick now, so we will upgrade that. The farm will keep producing food until the brick and lumber are brought to it. Once the brick and lumber are brought to it, they will build it. But until then, it will keep performing as a normal level 1 farm. Now we just got another one done, so let's see what we can choose from here. Pump output power plus 15%. Nugget stamina recovery increased by 5%. Nugget carry capacity plus 2. And pump output power plus 15. Well, my pumps are doing okay, but nugget carry capacity I think would be a very important one to research right now. The more they can carry, the faster they can build. The faster they can build, the more we've got going on. Okay, so now we're getting at the point where we've got everything built, so it's time to build a couple of more new things. Now, one of the things that's very important is education. Right here, it looks like a couple of school books. We've got the school. Now, the school is a fairly large building, so we're going to have to place it down over here. Let's go right about here. Okay, and we're going to need more than one school. A school will only train 2 nuggets at a time. So go back there and do expansion, get another school going. We'll place this one back here away from the rocks. That will allow us to train 4 child nuggets at a time. And once they get trained, we can put them to work. And as I said, the places you want to put them to work are the refineries and the engineers' huts, which is right over here. Right there, the one with the hammers on top. My building's conditions are good. Yumba's going to repair a building. We've had a little nugget in here that's been depressed for a little while. I'm going to see if I can give him a jolt of joy and spark up his life. Well, that took all my god power, and now it looks like I made him happy. Excellent. Let's get this back where it belongs. Rejuvenate. That way I can heal sickness when I need to. Speaking of which, how's my hospital doing? Nobody in the beds. We have 12 medicines stocked up and 2 herbs. And as you can see, the farm has received its materials and it is now starting to upgrade. Now this is my herb farm, so it's going to be upgrading on the herbs. My school is down here being built. Ooh, I have happy nuggets mating away, making more babies, more workers. Working is good. Let's see how it looks like our graveyard is slowly filling up. Now these bodies will slowly decay over time, allowing you to reuse that space. That was something they added in the last upgrade as well. That was a very handy upgrade. Nuggets were piling up and the bodies were overflowing. My trick back then was just to pick up the nuggets and put them in a pile and leave them there. I must have had a pile about 5,000 nuggets high. Just kidding. I had quite the pile though. Okay, so far we had 32 nuggets and 3 babies. Everything is going well at my eateries. Oh, this one could use a little bit of work. Okay, how's that farm coming? More slowly than surely at the moment. But when you're dealing with massive upgrades, it takes a lot of work. Rome was not built in a day, and if it was, it would not have been worth living in. Damn thing would have fell apart the next day. Okay, I'm thinking since all the resources have been delivered here and they're building it, I'm going to start the upgrade on this eatery here. Okay, we are at 82 food and 36 cooked food. I currently have 32 nuggets and 4 babies. That means I definitely need some upgrades. So it's a good thing I'm deciding to upgrade that eatery. My school is still plugging along down here. And how's it doing over here? Still plugging along. Excellent, we're moving. Progress is going forward, never backward. Okay, I'm going to take... Is that nugget still depressed? As you see, the Jolt of Joy took all my energy and really did nothing. I'm not giving the Jolt of Joy a thumbs up. It definitely needs some work. But that is a new god power, so maybe it's just not quite there yet. Everything balances in time. So far they've done quite well with the population balancing, the baby making, the food balancing. You're constantly building, but you're not getting overwhelmed at this point. Okay, it looks like my fishing pier guy just died. He wasn't on the water, that's good. And I have another new nugget adult to replace him. Are we starting to get food? Yes, we are. Good. Nuggets are getting back to work. Ice is thawing. And my farm is ready. Now we can assign another nugget. And we actually produce more. Now since we're in a forest biome here, what we're going to do is we're going to move up into the juicy acorn. It takes a little longer to produce, but you get more food out of it. Oh, gee, look at that. 8 minutes? I get 27 crops. 6 minutes, I get 39 crops. Well, that seems rather silly. Alright, we're going with the healthy Melina. And we now have 2 nuggets working. So if one is away eating or drinking, the other nugget can come and take care of it. That is one of the nice things about the upgrades. Not only do things produce more, but they also allow you to assign extra nuggets so you have more labor. Now you can take a look at your building and you can see exactly where they are for resources. We have 4 lumber out of 5 and 5 bricks out of 10. So soon the rest of that will be ordered, dropped off, and they will be working on that. That will happen more after these are built. And it looks like the school is just about finished. So as soon as it is, I will assign a teacher. And he will not be a very smart teacher to start with, but he will be a teacher. This is another one where the education level will help. Okay, that is my first school built. My second school is still building. Remember, don't be a fool. Stay in school. The old Mr. T saying, "How old am I? You'll never know." Although you probably figured out when you hear me say things like that. When I remember things like Hong Kong Phooey, #1 super guy. Wondering if any of you are going to comment on that. Are any of you as old as me, or am I dealing with a group of younger generations playing God games? Now, one of the interesting things about this as a God game is the development powers. I love the idea that we've got the Wrath and the Kickstart and the Healing. I am really hoping to see them build some in the creation. I would like to see, like reforestation, things like that. In this alpha stage, I currently have not done any serious damage to a planet or a forest ecosystem yet. I've chopped down quite a few trees and left them hanging, but nothing has been really seriously damaged. I've always had lots of resources. I'm assuming this is going to change once I get more into the medieval era. You can always check the roadmap on the website. That tells you where they're at, what they've done, what they're going to be building in the future. And the nice thing is, now they've got most of the mechanics of the game worked out. They've got the AI figured out for the Nuggets, which still has a few small glitches, but it's really good AI so far. They keep working, they do what they're supposed to do, and so basically it's adding the buildings and the upgrades to the buildings is where the point where they're at now, and deciding how we're going to be using the new resources like metal and oil and gas. And of course, we're eventually going to get off the planet, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm hoping that it isn't a send them off and then they go and build their own planet. I'm hoping it's an idea like you send them off and then you explore new technologies on the planet, like oxygen generators. Let's say, for example, you create your own biomes. Create different types of food because you would have a different biome on a different planet. It's more of, a carbon biome. So you would have to grow a weird carbon type plant that you could feed off. These are just ideas I'm thinking of. And it'll be interesting to see where it goes and where they do implement over time. As I say, we're still only pre-medieval. So we're just entering the Stone Age to the Medieval Age. I see my eatery has upgraded, which is really nice. I can now assign another nugget. And we have a 7-year-old there who's picking up resources. He'll do just fine. See, as you can see, we can now hold, I think, 20 resources is what it builds up to. And that will definitely help. And it looks like we've got a windstorm coming in. This is not really enough to worry my nuggets. So I'm not too worried. Windstorms come and go, it's not like a fire. As long as a tornado doesn't come running with it. Nope, no tornadoes. Okay, so we've upgraded the eatery. So now we want to start upgrading over here in the middle of town. We'll work on upgrading that eatery next. And oops, I've let my engineering lapse, my research. See, we can do the hospital upgrade, the engineer's hut upgrade, or the lumber mill and the stone mine. I think we're going to start with the engineer's hut. Then we're going to work on the hospital upgrade. And then I'm also going to work on the lumber mill and the stone mine. Now this lumber mill has to be placed anywhere there's a lot of trees. He will go around and cut as many trees as possible. The stone mine has to be placed on stone terrain, like a mountain biome. Once you're on the mountain biome, you can place a stone mine and you will keep mining stone forever. So that's a good thing. Yeah, stone is a pretty easy resource to get in this game. I see we're having some problems with water all of a sudden. I've gone from 383 to 400. I was not keeping track while I was upgrading. This is not a good thing. Pump going there. Okay, the windstorm is blown away. They generally don't last too long. Okay, crops are growing, so they're doing nothing. This eatery is slowly building up food. Unka just came into the world in the most inelegant way. Mortals are pretty gross. Yes, yes we are. And a nasty injury has befallen Kelma. Or more precisely, Kelma has received a nasty injury after falling. Well, let's go find Kelma. There you are. Now you are healed. Speaking of which, let's go take a look at the hospital. Nobody resting on the beds. We're doing pretty good. Okay, I'm at 40 food and 35 nuggets, so we're doing good. We've got 87 raw food, so we are well covered for food. They will eat raw food. I just like to have cooked food for each nugget. And we're losing nuggets due to old age, and they will be momentarily missed. That's unfortunate. Poor nuggets, they die, they come back. Slave their life away. How are the bunkers doing for food? Not much for food yet. We need couriers, but unfortunately we have not researched them yet. Hide bags just got researched. Now, +1 well water capacity, or pump output power +15. Now, considering we just ran out of pump power, I think we're going to add the pump output power +15. That will add 15 water per pump. As you see, we got a few, so that will help. And the pumps are already being built quickly, which is a really good sign. How are you doing? We need 5 brick. And there's our little grave digger gathering bodies. I'm thinking that's where he's on his way to. Excuse me. Take another sip of my beer. And there we go. 2 bodies in the cart. Now I'm thinking this other school should be done. I have 2 nuggets sitting there learning and nobody teaching them anything. You're not going to learn much that way. Let's go with Chavos. You're learning. I can't use Chavos. Let's go with somebody a little older. There we go. Now I have 2 teachers going in 2 schools. So while we're waiting on a couple of upgrades to complete, I am going to say that is the end of this episode. And I'm actually going to have to cut it in half because it was twice as long as I meant it to be. But this is Unka Bean signing off from Unka Bean's Games Lab, and we hope to see you soon. If you like what you're seeing, give us a like and a subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, you want to talk old-time things like Hong Kong Phooey or anything like that, go ahead and feel free to do so. You all take care. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.